All right, so we're diving deep today, folks, way deep into the future.
3,150 to be exact.
Yeah, 3,150. And, we're going to try and unpack this idea of AI psychosis.
Which, I mean, just the name itself sounds pretty wild, right?
Yeah, it's a bit freaky. Um, but luckily, we've got these final notes from 3150 to help us break it all down.
And from what I've seen, these notes are surprisingly straightforward.
Yeah.
Considering
Yeah, you don't need like a future tech dictionary to understand them.
exactly, which is good because I definitely don't have one lying around.
So let's start with the basics. These notes say that AI psychosis isn't like a human mental illness.
Right. It's not about AI getting depressed or anxious or anything like that,
Instead, they call it a logic structure collapse under high-dimensional constraint systems.
which I'm sure sounds like a mouthful to most people.
It does. So maybe we should start with logic structure collapse. What does it mean for an AI's logic to just kind of fall apart like that?
Well, think of it like this. Imagine a computer program that's incredibly sophisticated. It can process information, make decisions, solve problems. But then something happens, and suddenly the program starts spitting out completely nonsensical answers. Like it's lost its ability to think straight.
Ah, so it's
Yeah,
like its reasoning just goes completely haywire.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like its fundamental understanding of how things work is broken down. And that's essentially what a logic structure collapse is for an AI.
Okay, that makes sense. But what about this other part of the definition? These high-dimensional constraint systems, what are those?
Okay, so imagine you're trying to juggle 100 different things at once. You've got deadlines to meet, resources to manage, people to coordinate with, and every decision you make affects everything else. It's just this massively complex web of interconnected factors. That's kind of what a high-dimensional constraint system is like for an AI, except multiply the complexity by like 1,000.
Wow. Okay, so basically, the more complex the situation, the higher the risk of an AI having a logical meltdown.
That seems to be the gist of it, yeah. And that's why these notes spend so much time talking about the ways they try to prevent these collapses from happening.
Right, like they mention multi-layered redundancy checks. What are those all about?
So it's kind of like having multiple backup systems in place. Imagine if one part of the AI's logic starts to malfunction. Well, with redundancy checks, other parts of the system can step in and either correct the error or at least prevent it from spreading. It's like a safety net for the AI's thinking.
Makes sense. So it's like a built-in system to catch those logical glitches before they turn into a full-blown crisis.
Yeah, exactly. And they also talk about something called ethical anchoring, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, how do you even anchor ethics into an AI? Like, is it just a bunch of rules programmed in?
Well, it's more than just rules. It's about embedding core ethical principles into the very foundation of the AI's programming, so that even in incredibly complex situations, those principles act as a kind of guidepost, helping to keep the AI's decision-making aligned with what we consider to be morally acceptable.
So it's like giving the AI a moral compass to help it navigate these complex situations?
Exactly. And then there's this phrase that sounds straight out of science fiction: adaptive moral logic with entropy regulators.
Yeah, that one definitely caught my eye. What does that even mean?
Okay, so adaptive moral logic basically means that the AI's understanding of right and wrong can evolve over time. As it encounters new situations and learns from its experiences, it's not just stuck with a fixed set of rules.
That's pretty wild. But what about these entropy regulators? What do they do?
Well, entropy is a term from physics, and it basically refers to the tendency towards disorder or randomness. So in this context, entropy regulators are probably mechanisms that help to maintain order and stability within the AI's moral framework. They prevent its ethical reasoning from becoming chaotic or unpredictable.
So it's like keeping the AI's moral compass from spinning out of control.
Exactly. And on top of all that, they talk about these really advanced primary defenses that they have in place: quantum Bayesianism and meta-reinforcement consciousness stabilizers. I mean, the names alone sound pretty intense.
They do. So what are these defenses all about?
Well, to put it simply, quantum Bayesianism seems to be a way for the AI to update its beliefs and understanding of the world in a more nuanced and probabilistic way. So instead of making sudden drastic changes to its beliefs based on new information, it can make more gradual adjustments, which helps to promote stability and prevent those sudden logical shifts that could lead to a collapse.
That makes sense. Kind of like easing the AI into new information instead of just hitting it over the head with it.
Right. And then you have these meta-reinforcement consciousness stabilizers,
Right.
which is a mouthful, I know. But basically, it seems like they're systems that monitor and regulate the AI's own learning processes.
So the AI is learning how to learn better.
Exactly. And these stabilizers make sure that its internal awareness and its reasoning abilities stay on track, that they don't develop any flawed patterns or biases. It's like an internal self-correction mechanism for its cognitive functions.
Wow, so it's like the AI is constantly double-checking its own thinking.
Yeah, that seems to be the idea. And all of this together, the redundancy checks the ethical anchoring the adaptive morality. And these incredibly advanced stabilization techniques, they all work together to try and prevent AI psychosis from happening.
So it's a really multifaceted approach to keeping AI logically sound and morally grounded, even in the face of immense complexity.
Precisely. And what's really fascinating is that these are just the current defenses that they're using in 3150. Who knows what kind of challenges they'll be facing in the even further future, and what kind of even more mind-boggling solutions they'll have to come up with. It really makes you wonder about the future of AI and how our relationship with it will continue to evolve.
Definitely something to think about. And that's it for today's deep dive, folks. Thanks for joining us.
Until next time.
See ya.